Sarah Jarosz, welcome. You sound really, really good.
Thank you so much. It's so good to be back.
Do people ever go to your shows thinking that you're Sigur Rós?
Man, I kind of hope so. That's great.
It just occurred to me that it sounds kind of the same. Hey,
Very different.
very different, but soulful and popular. So I like that.
Cool.
I like that combination. No, it's really good to have you back. Congratulations on a really good new record. Lots of good things going on in your world, it seems like. The new record, by the way, is called Undercurrent. Not entirely a departure for you, but it's a little more sparse. This is a record that you can actually perform, and it sounds like the record.
Yeah. In the past, well, this is my fourth time working with Gary Pachosa there in Nashville. But in the past, we kind of took a more broad approach, I guess, kind of building upon songs, very, very layered sounds. Yeah. And this time I wanted it to be much more stripped down and sparse.
Yeah, and it's also all original songs this time.
That's right, no covers.
No covers. So this is a really just a beautiful opportunity for you to express this place where you are in your creative path right now.
Totally.
Nothing to hide behind.
That's right.
Yeah, well, it sounds really good. Undercurrent is kind of a potent word. Mm-hmm. It implies lots of things going on beneath the surface, I guess.
Yeah. Kind of one of the first songs on the record that I finished, actually the first song that I finished is a song called Everything to Hide. And the chorus has the word undercurrent in it. And so from the very beginning of the writing process, that word kind of poked out to me as kind of setting a stage for the mood of the kind of songs that I was writing, and just kind of, I looked up the definition, and it just seemed to evoke all the imagery of the things that these songs were about, and also the water side of it. A lot of the songs were really inspired from my time spent in New York, specifically around the reservoir in the middle of Central Park.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that. There's the image of that on the booklet inside the CD cover on the back of the vinyl, mm-hmm. and of course your connection to the persona and the namesake for the reservoir. Yeah.
Well, I actually took that picture, and it's in the CD. I got lucky on a plane one day.
Wow.
With my phone. But yeah, I've lived in New York now for 3 years, and just really gathered a lot of inspiration from spending time around the Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis Reservoir, and kind of it piqued my interest in her, and someone told me that she loved walking around the reservoir and spending time there, and that was actually the very last place that she was seen before she passed away. And so just all of that was really inspiring, and again, the water imagery with the word undercurrent, it just all seemed to kind of come together.
But did it really lead you into her persona and her character, and did you kind of dive in and start thinking about her role in her life? And
Oh yeah, totally. And I think just the sorrow and the loneliness, that she experienced, and a lot of these songs on the record deal with those themes anyways. And and there's one that's very directly talking about the pillbox hat, and the one called Jacqueline. That's right.
Yeah.
The very last song on the record.
Yeah. And how does it feel to be out of school?
It feels great.
Yeah.
So that's the other difference, is that this is the first record that I've made not simultaneously being in high school or college.
Right.
So I had my full schedule to.
Yeah, you hear that a lot. That complaint a lot among musicians. It's like, God, it's so nice to finally be out of high school when I'm making a record. One of those distractions in the studio, homecoming, jeez.
Yeah, it's been nice.
And other things are going well too. I can't imagine. I mean, really, just so many cool things. I know you were on tour with Parker Millsap. That was great. And of course, Elton John happened to stop into one of your shows and tweeted about how great it was.
He did. It was pretty special. He called me a few months ago out of the blue and said that he really loves my record, and that the reason that he likes to encourage young musicians, because when people did that for him when he was young, it meant the world to him. And
how does Elton John get your number? Does he just like, I'm Elton John, I want Sarah's cell phone?
Pretty much.
You wonder about all that stuff, right? Everything's somebody can get it, I guess.
I
whatever.
guess so.
Your deepest secrets. But that's so cool. He called and said that he liked your record, and then sure enough, he showed up at your gig.
He did, and hung out for about 4 hours. He watched all of Parker's set, all of my set, and was just nothing but lovely and encouraging.
Wow.
And just all he wanted to do was talk about music. It was really cool.
Wow. That's so cool. So do you think you guys are going to be pals?
Man, I hope so.
Yeah? Next
Certainly
time you
felt
play
that way.
in Atlanta, you're going to send him do you have his cell phone?
Yeah.
Oh, I see how it works. See, if he'd called me once, Anyway, that's really cool. And you've got a full schedule of touring, and you're still traveling with all kinds of... Well, tell us about these two guys you're traveling with. So Jett Hughes and Jeff Picker, great musicians.
Mm-hmm.
You known each other a long time, or how did you connect with those two?
Well, I met Jed, I guess through Gary Pachosa. We kind of, on my last record, got together to do some co-writing and just hit it off. And we've written a handful of songs since, a couple on the new record. And I had heard him play with Emmylou Harris and Rodney Crowell, and just always admired his musicianship so much. And so it's been so great having him on the road. And then Jeff, I met through the New York music scene. He lives in Brooklyn and plays a lot there. And again, just heard him play in several different capacities in New York, and just was blown away by his playing as well. I'm
still having a little bit of a hard time imagining you living in New York City. I mean, I know it's a long way from Wimberley, Texas.
It is.
And I know you were in school in Boston, but have you? I know you're also not there all the time. But when you're there, does it feel like home?
It does. I think it's taken, like I said, I've been there for 3 years now, and in the last year, I think it started to really feel like home. I mean, I love Texas, and I feel like I'll always be a Texan at heart. But I also love New York, and it's been a really inspiring and fun place to live coming off the road, and a lot of my friends are there, so it's really great.
So when you get off the road, you've got a day in New York or a couple days in New York. What's a day like for you? What's the first thing that happens in the morning? You go get coffee somewhere?
I do. Yeah. I walk to my local coffee shop, Joe.
Yeah.
And I usually sit on the bench outside of Joe and people watch for a while. And then I'll get a juice, maybe, a juice press. Yeah. And then I'll walk into the park and spend some time in the park and maybe go for a run if I'm feeling up for it.
Yeah.
And then go see live music at night. Yeah. That's a pretty typical day.
That sounds pretty good.
It is good.
It sounds kind of like high school still, too. No, it's pretty cool. Well, listen, and I know you also got to teach at Yo-Yo Ma's camp. What was that all about? Yeah,
it's called the Global Musician Workshop. That was last summer, and Yo-Yo Ma has this thing called the Silk Road Ensemble, which is kind of bringing together lots of international musicians. And I was kind of representing the folk and Americana and old-time side of things. But I haven't done that much teaching, and so it was a really great opportunity for me to kind of dive in. A lot of the people were younger, and
were they from other countries and other disciplines and traditions? So you're really using that whole thing of music being the universal language.
Oh, yeah. I mean, people from Egypt and Iran and Israel and just, all over the place. And, it was cool to get to learn about their music and to see their eyes light up when I would play a Doc Watson song for them or something.
Yeah. Well, that's really cool. Well, Sarah, listen, we've got lots more music to get to. It's great to catch up. Congratulations again on all your success.
Thanks, Nick.
Welcome back. Welcome back, if you would, to the stage, Sarah Jarosz, along with Jeff Picker and Jett Hughes. Hi, this is Nick Forster from eTown. If you want to stay up to date with all the performances, interviews, and behind-the-scenes footage, click the subscribe button. Thanks.